Record. Hmm. Can't can't hear it this time too.
You can't hear it?
No, no, you can't. You can't hear it.
Perfect. All right.
Can't hear it.
Welcome to the first episode of the Tuesday Night Football Podcast. My co-host Kane Nicholson. My name is Richard Mignette. I know what you're thinking. What are you guys talking about? It's Thursday. Why are you naming your podcast Tuesday Night Football? That's because this is going to be a 2-show-a-week podcast. One on Tuesdays where we where we go back and we review the games that just happened on Sunday. Thursdays are going to be our preview episode, which is tonight. So we will be previewing all of the games in our sleeper fantasy football league, as
Mhm.
well as picking the games of NFL. We're going to pick them straight up as well. And as you can see, we got our Bucs gear on. The Bucs play the Bills tonight. I put the AC at 61 in the apartment. I got the hoodie on. I'm recreating the conditions. I'm ready to go to war.
Yep, yep. Yeah, we're both wearing our hoodies here. Repping the Bucks. Think we already know on the pick'em section who we're gonna pick for that game.
Absolutely.
Yes, but yeah, going into this show, we've got a lot of new gear this time. I can hear my freaking own voice really loud in my ears right now, and it's driving me
Yep.
insane. But got a new mic, had these headphones for like 2 years, and can finally put them to good use. So excited for today's episode.
We retired the AirPods. They had
Tired,
one episode. We were fired up. We did the episode, recorded it. Boom. Can't wait to
yeah,
send it to our boys. Turn that audio on. It was horrible.
yeah.
It was horrible.
AirPods, you just can't record podcasts.
AirPods are great for if you want to listen. If you want to talk, get some different microphones. Those are horrible.
Exactly, and we look really official with this.
Absolutely.
So let's get into it, man.
All right, let's get into it. So this is I believe week 8. Yep, this is week 8 of our sleeper league.
Yes, sir.
We'll do a quick rundown of everybody's record real quick. Starting off first place, Jared. I'm not gonna say his team name. It has to do with TJ Hawkinson. He is 5-2. The lawyer is my name. I am 5-2. Jake Schaefer, Picket Fence. He is 4-3 at the 3 spot. Nikki Roush, he is 4-3. In the 4 spot, in the 5 spot, we got JJ. 6 spot, we got Kenny 4-3, 7. Mike 3-4, elite. And then we got Grant coming in the 8 spot, 3-4. Lee 2-5, and our brother, our sweet boy Dan, 0-7.
Love you, Dan.
That every time we bring up Dan for the first time, we have to mention this broadcast is brought to you by Waffle House. All you can
Brought
eat
to you.
waffles, 2 a.m. or later. We love Waffle House. Dan loves Waffle House. This is the unofficial sponsor of this podcast. Not really, but kind of. So we're going to go ahead and
Yes.
break down all the games. Kenny and I are going to break each other's games down respectively. So Kenny, let's start with you in my game.
Perfect. So jumping in here, no, you guys can't see our screen, but we got the lawyers versus Suck My. Not gonna finish that because we are a family broadcast.
Yep.
So right now Jared is a 11-point favorite. And just looking real quick here, so looks like Jared's squad got Mahomes, Barkley, Kamara. It's a good little squad right there. Tyreek, apparently he's injured. I don't think he's actually going to be hurt.
I think
The only,
I think today he did say he was going to play.
yeah. He
Tough
said
news for
he
me.
like didn't get attention from his mom or something.
Yeah.
Um, and then yeah, so TJ Hawkinson, that's a question mark. If he plays, let's just assume everybody's healthy for this matchup. If I'm gonna pick a winner here, and I hate to do this to my
Go ahead.
co-host,
Hey, you want to take my headphones off? I can take my headphones off.
yeah, take the
All
headphones
right,
off
all right,
real
all right.
quick.
I want to take. All right. I won't even know. I won't even know.
Hmm.
I won't even look at. I can't live really. So
Okay, Jared's gonna win this. Jared's gonna win this game.
yeah, I heard that's all right.
Oh crap! Yeah, I don't have both screens up at the same time, so didn't see it.
It's all good. Gonna be a good game. It's gonna be an uphill battle. Absolutely. He is
You never
right now
know.
a 55% favorite. So I don't.
You never know.
Hey, statistically, you're correct.
You never know.
All right. So let's get into Miguel Evans and Grant. So right now, Kenny is a 51% favorite. He a 51% chance of winning. 2-point favorite, 128 to 126 over Grant. To me, Kenny has a very solid team. Jonathan Taylor, Bijan. Kenny probably could be 5-2 if Bijan doesn't have a headache. Um, to me, the key in this game is, I mean, Grant has a ton of Chargers and Lions. So I think we covered that in the first episode, the unofficial pilot. This is the first episode. To me, it's going to come down to what the Chargers do versus the Bears. The Bears, tough team right now. Chargers, this is a massive, probably get right game. Excuse me, get right game, and the spot for them. Eckler, all these guys. Goddard is one of his really good players. He's got St. Brown as well. Um, if I had to make a pick, which is what we're doing right now, the emergence of Zay Flowers and Jordan Addison, that's a huge boost for you. So I am going to give the nod to Kenny on this one. It's going to be close. Like I said, the Chargers really define Grant. If the Chargers win 49-14, Grant probably has a good chance of winning. But right now, preliminarily, I'm going to take Kenny. I don't know if that's a word. Preliminarily, I'm going to
Yeah,
take Kenny.
I think it's a word. I think
Yeah,
it's a word.
it's all right. First episode doesn't really matter.
Yeah, exactly. Cool. Well, let's jump into another matchup then. Appreciate you picking me.
Mm-hmm.
No bias in that.
No bias at all.
No bias.
Lifelong friends, no bias.
Exactly. So I
Love you,
think we
Grant.
should go straight to the 1 o'clock blacked out. Can only see it if you got freaking
This game,
jailbroken Apple
yeah,
TV.
this game is going to be empty, empty, empty in the stands. Empty in the stands. This
I
game is a
mean,
blackout for sure.
yeah, it's not a lot of people in attendance, but we're
Dan,
talking
wait, but
about.
you know what? I'm looking at this now. Dan has a 60% chance to win.
I mean, yeah, he does. He does.
Let's
He
see.
does.
All right, taking a look at all these games, taking a look at all these players. Um, you know what? I don't think. Oof. I don't know, man. His roster doesn't look horrible, but now that everybody's back,
Pollard,
um,
Cook, Cup.
doesn't look terrible. But unfortunately, 0-7 is way too much to come back from. I think that Lee, if he gets production from his wide receivers like he can, if Tractor Cito comes to play, King Henry, um, I'm afraid to pick Dan, but I think I want to pick Dan.
You know what? I'm gonna pick the underdog here and go with Lee.
Lee,
And
all right, good.
the
All right,
reason I'm
good.
picking Lee is because I don't agree. Not that I'm some expert here, but I don't agree with the projection sleeper has for some of these guys. Like,
Yeah, so some of the sleeper projections are horrible. Every single week they give
yeah,
Ken Walker like 9. I don't really
Foreman
understand why.
Foreman at 8.9. I know Foreman's not a stud. Roshan's coming back, but
Yeah,
I mean, I think higher than 8.9. I mean, PPR, you get like
Deontay's
three
got good
catches.
tape. Deontay's got great tape.
Yeah. Josh Downs, Marquise Brown, Lee. That's going to be a good player for you down the road with
Hollywood
Kyler
Brown,
coming back.
baby.
Yeah, it's going to be a good player. I'm going to go with Lee.
I'm
Leave
I'm
it at
gonna I'm
that.
gonna pick Dan. I'm gonna give Dan. Dan's made some good moves,
Yeah,
in week 8. So
it's all love.
Dan 1-7, baby. I already told you I'm gonna help you out at Waffle House, so it's no big deal.
Yeah, I'll be there too. Don't you
All
worry.
right.
I might not help you, but I'll be watching.
So let's move on. Let's go to Mike and JJ. We called this. This is a great. The last two matchups are great matchups. JJ and Mike, they love to go at it in the group message. Good friendly rivalry. Obviously, everything's in good fun, good nature. This is gonna be a great game because these are two powerhouses, I think. And when Mike said he was elite, obviously at the time, it didn't make sense. But if you look at his roster, there are pieces. Um, he's led by Kelsey, Jalen Hurts, Gibbs. I don't think Gibbs is going to have the same production that he had last week. They are playing the Raiders, who don't have the best defense. They just had Deontay Foreman go up and down on them. Aaron Jones is also a question mark. I don't think Aaron Jones is probably going to get back to what he was. I think he's 28 years old, and there's the stat on 28-year-old running backs. It's tough right now. But looking up and down at this roster, I think this is probably going to be a bounce back spot for JJ. There's no way that Tua puts up a 10 bomb again. I got lucky in that game. There was some questionable officiating as well. He's got the stack with him and Waddle. Pacheco's been playing out of his mind, and he has DeAndre Swift. I'm going to go with the Meerkats and JJ.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, this is I I hate to do this to Mike because I feel like sometimes I throw a little bit of shade at Mike, but
He
Mike, I
is
do
elite.
love you. I
He's
love you,
elite.
Mike.
We love you,
He's
Mike, and you're
elite.
elite.
You're elite. I'm gonna go with JJ two here, and the reason that I think that JJ has the advantage here. I mean, Jameer Gibbs, great matchup. He'll probably go off. Jalen Hurts, always a great QB. He little tush push, little butt push. The guy
Brotherly
scores
love,
touchdowns.
brotherly
Little
shove.
little brotherly shove. Aaron Jones, as Richard said, he's going to be limited no matter what. Already limited in practice today. He's not going to go crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Now the wild card here is Kelsey and Ridley for Mike.
Yeah.
Kelsey's got the positional advantage over Waller, so I like that. Kelsey dropped like almost 40 on me last week, but JJ,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's got a stable, man. He's got a stable, so I'll
Yeah, he
cut it at
does.
that. I mean, I think
We
I
didn't
think
we didn't even
JJ,
mention McCaffrey or Jacobs.
yeah, McCaffrey,
Yep.
Jacobs, Pacheco, Swift. I mean, you can't
That
really beat.
that in a double flex league, I know it's PPR, but in a double flex league, when you got those four guys, that's tough to beat. It's tough to
Yeah,
beat.
yeah. I mean, also one more thing to note: Jalen Hurts dumping it down to DeAndre Swift. I mean, that's going to be a little
Absolutely,
tug and pull. It's going to be a little tug
absolutely.
and pull. So I'm going to go with JJ, but I do think it's a close competitive match. Hopefully, some trash talk between those two.
All right, so we both got JJ on that one, and then our last matchup, we got Nikki
Temple
versus
Terrace.
Jake, an absolutely great matchup. 1-5-2, 1-4-3, and there's a lot of games that I watch in the NFL, college, where the records could end up the same after the game because those two teams are just so similar. I very much see that. This game, 100%, both teams could be 5-3 at the end of this, but it would be huge if Jake went 6-2. He's on for real watch. He's on for real. I'm not for real yet. I don't believe I'm for real yet. I think the only one that's right now for real is Jared. Um, but he's got a. I mean, Rashad White plays here in about 30, 45 minutes. Um, he's got a ton. I'm looking at this. He's got a ton of green. Lamar at Arizona, Brees Hall at Giants, Rashad White at Buffalo, Drake London at Tennessee. A lot of green matchups. A lot. He's only got one red. That's Ayuk versus Cincinnati. That's going to be tough. With Purdy probably out, and Ayuk really hasn't been putting up the production that we thought that he would since that week one outburst, especially with Debo out. He just hasn't been uh had that big game yet. It's only been one game, but we'll see this week what he looks like. But Mostert in Miami is just he's a monster. I know he had a quiet week versus Philadelphia last week, but he's a monster. They're playing New England. New England obviously come off a big win. Might be a down spot for them. Um, with all that said, I think. Ooh, this is tough. This is tough. This is a great. This is a great matchup. I think I'm leaning Jake. I think I'm leaning Jake, but the projections have these guys 2 points apart.
Yeah,
If I'm right about this, we can clip this and put it as our first TikTok. This game might come down to the death.
yeah. We got to hire a TikTok team.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna again agree with you. I mean, I'm leaning Jake a little bit, and my
Mm-hmm.
reason is more Nicky. His team is great, and he's been dealing with
Mm-hmm.
a lot of injuries, so I feel for him.
ETN is a
Kareem
monster. A
Etienne's
monster.
Etienne's a monster, but he's had 2 touchdowns, and I think his last 3 games, if I'm not mistaken. He's got Trevor Lawrence, Travis Etienne, and Christian Kirk. I don't love the
The
matchup
triple the
against
triple stack.
the triple stack. He's got the
Triple stack.
triple pancake, big old stack. I don't love the matchup this week. I'm pretty sure Pittsburgh's been hasn't been that great of a
Oh
fantasy
wow, this is
defense.
wow, this is really Jake versus Nikki because Jake is a massive Steelers fan. So
It
this is truly Jake versus Nikki.
that's a whole other storyline I didn't even think
That's
of.
fantastic.
And according to the little sleeper icon, it looks like it's going to be a rain game. So I'm
Ooh,
I'm going to lean Jake here just because I don't know if Jacksonville is going to have it going this week.
Pitt in
So
that wet Pittsburgh weather. Oh,
yeah, yeah, Deontay Johnson. That's another player that I just want to call out because he was limited in practice today. He had some hamstring issues, was in
mm-hmm.
IR for
Still
a
still
while.
coming. Yeah, still coming back.
Yeah, so I don't know how he does this week. But I just think Brees Hall, Lamar, Mark Andrews, Ayuk. I mean, those guys are going to go off. So I'm leaning
Laporta's
Jake
back.
too.
Chris Godwin plays in
Chris,
about again 30 minutes as well. That could be a huge matchup. Everybody's predicting for a big night for Mike Evans and
yeah,
Chris Godwin. Personally, as a Bucs fan, I very much hope that happens. So that could be very good for Nikki as well. But like I said, I truly believe, and if this is right, we'll clip it, put it on TikTok. This game might come down to the decimal.
yeah,
That's how close I think these two teams are. True point flip.
yeah, and that is the battle of Fowler Ave.
The Battle of
Um,
Fowler Ave, the battle of who is going to honor Temple Terrace the most, who brings honor to their mother and their father and represent Temple Terrace Country Club better.
Exactly.
That is the battle between those two right there for Temple Terrace. So we've previewed
Exactly.
our sleeper league, made our picks, made our predictions. Let's go ahead and segment to our next part of the show, which is going to be just pick 'em NFL games. No gambling. There's enough gambling shows out there. There's enough of that content. Every 5 minutes you see an ad for it. So we are going to just pick straight up the guys that we believe are going to win on Sunday.
Yep.
Obviously, and we have the game tonight, Thursday. Bucs, Bills. We're both just going to go ahead pick Bucs on that one, right?
Yes. Yes.
All
We're
right,
gonna pick
perfect.
Bucks. Yeah.
Let's move it along right here. Rapid fire. Patriots, Dolphins. Who you got?
Patriots, Dolphins. I got Dolphins.
I'm going to go Dolphins as well. If Patriots hadn't had their big win last week versus Bills, I may would have gone Patriots in that spot. But Dolphins coming off a pretty disappointing loss versus Eagles, I'm going to take Dolphins. Jets,
Yeah.
Giants. Who you got?
Dolphins. I was gonna say they like to crush on these little teams. They like to.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
say
they
don't
do.
pick on somebody smaller than you.
Yeah,
The Dolphins like to
pick
do
on
that.
somebody your own size.
Right.
Dolphins.
Right.
Yep,
Pick on somebody your own size, Dolphins, but you
like the
can't.
Eagles. Like the Eagles.
Like the Eagles, but you can't. Jets, Giants. Where's this? Oh, MetLife. They're
Jets.
both MetLife.
Listen, we're not gambling, but Jets. We'll just say the Jets are a 3-point favorite.
In this game, I'm gonna. I don't know the Giants O line situation. I don't know if they're starting Tyrod or Daniel Jones, but I'm still gonna go Giants. No logic really put into it. I just have a feeling that the Giants are gonna get it together. I mean, they played pretty well last week. Darren Waller's kind of getting in a
Mm-hmm.
groove.
Mm-hmm.
The pass catcher's kind of getting a little bit better. Wandale Robinson. You got
Yep.
Saquon getting more healthy. The Jets defense is formidable. I'm going Giants though.
This is the battle of MetLife.
It is.
I'm also going to agree with you. I'm going to go Giants. Unfortunately, listen, the Jets are not a bad team at all. They're scrappy. They're playing well. This happened with the Bucs. I think the bye week happened at the absolute worst time for the Jets. I think the bye week for them should have come at a time when they probably were coming off a loss, other than not a huge victory versus Denver, which I believe was their last game. The Giants are coming off a nice victory versus Washington, holding them only to 7 points, a huge defensive game. Um, the offense eventually is going to click. Saquon's eventually going to get healthy, and if Tyrod Taylor does play, like you said, he is a good backup quarterback. He's got a ton of starter experience. I have no problem putting Tyrod in there with the offense. I'm going to go Giants as well.
Nice.
All right, let's go. We got next
Too
game.
bad.
We got Jags Steelers.
Jags, Steelers. This is the game that we were talking about with the
This
Nikki
is
and
this
Jake
is
matchup.
pretty much the battle of Fowler Avenue.
This is a good matchup. I mean, Pittsburgh's at home. I think it's going to be a low scoring dogfight.
Yep.
Um, just seeing how Pittsburgh played last week, I really like them to kind of start bouncing back and getting in rhythm here. You can never count out Mike Tomlin. I know
Yep.
I'm not a Steelers fan, but you can never count out Mike Tomlin.
He's right now he's an underdog at home, which is very dangerous.
Yeah, underdog at home, starting to get things clicking here. Deontay Johnson's back, adds a little bit of flavor to that offense. Jaguars, they've been looking pretty good, but it kind of reminds me of last year's Vikings, where
They're
they're
winning
winning
those.
all these
Yep.
close games, but like, can they sustain this? I don't know.
Yeah.
I could be wrong. Going Steelers.
Sorry
Bless
about
you.
that. First burp on the podcast.
Oh, you're good.
Jags Steelers. I think the Steelers are probably they are a good team, but I look at this game. Do I think the Jaguars are 5-3, or do I think the Steelers are 5-2? I think the Jaguars are probably a 6-2 football team. I think they're very good. I think they're fundamentally sound. I think obviously, like I said, dangerous having Steelers be an underdog at home, especially in the Mike Tomlin era. Former Bucs coach, we love Mike Tomlin. But I'm gonna have to take the Jags here in the spot. I think that the Jags coming off the mini bye week when they just came off of playing New Orleans on Thursday Night Football, they got a lot of rest and recover, R&R. I'm gonna have to go with the Jags here in the spot. I don't like it. I think it's kind of gross, but I don't think the Steelers are as good. They are not bad, but I don't think the Steelers are as good as they are on paper right now. Next one. All right, let's go. We got Falcons Titans. Now this game, this is like I couldn't tell you a thing about these two teams right now. I mean, I could. I'm just saying, like projection wise, like trying to pick this game. This is tough. We don't really know Ryan Tannehill's full health status. Um, And if that's the case, we're going to see Will Levis and Malik Willis, which is, I mean, that's two pretty much
Will
base.
Levis is starting. I
Will
saw I
Levis,
saw a
yeah.
tweet. I saw a
So
tweet.
we're gonna have a rookie quarterback starting, and then we're gonna have Malik Willis backing him up, getting playing time. And this is the same guy who the Titans brought in Josh Dobbs off the street last year to play in a de facto playoff game versus the Jaguars at the end of the season. So with all that being said, I know Atlanta just came off an emotional victory. And 9 times out of 10, when these teams come off emotional victories like that, they have a huge letdown spot. With that being said, I'm going to take the Falcons.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really need to go too deep into this. Like, I think it's pretty easy choice. You got to pick the Falcons. I could see there's always any given Sunday. Any given
Mm-hmm.
Sunday,
Yep.
you never know what's going to happen in the NFL. But I mean, I just don't see how the Falcons lose this game. I mean, Titans are trading away their best players. Tannehill's hurt. I mean, Derrick Henry might be a freaking Raven. Might be
This could
Bug.
either be
Hopefully,
the Titans like we're still here, or this is like we're gonna lay down. So,
correct. And Will Levis
but
might
yeah,
work out, but
regardless, I think probably rookie quarterback is going to be a lot of mistakes. Going to be probably a lot of sacks. I did pick up the Falcons defense in our league, one of our leagues. So I'm gonna go Falcons on this one.
fun fact: I will actually be in Nashville during that game. I don't know if I'm going to go to the game, but that's interesting.
A little bit, a
But
little
yeah,
bit of
going
Kenny,
Falcons.
a little bit of Kenny magic. All right,
Yeah,
next
Kenny
one we got
Chesney.
Texans Panthers. Going to be a battle of first and two picks. I want to say the last time that this happened was Jameis and Mariota. I'm trying to think of the last time we had the number one, number two pick face off. 21 was Joe Burrow. No, 20 was Joe Burrow. 21 was Trevor Lawrence. I'm trying to think who the second pick was in that draft. I know Trey Lance went. Was it Lawrence and Lance in the same draft? I think it was.
I don't know. Let's see.
If we had a producer,
Zach Wilson. Zach Wilson.
we say, hey, producer, check that. Oh, okay. So Zach Wilson.
Zach
All right.
Wilson
So
was the second pick.
yeah. So Lawrence and all right. So this is so the Mariota and Winston were not the most recent because Lawrence and Wilson faced off last year, at MetLife, and Lawrence won. So I'm gonna go. Panthers are at home. Texans again off a bye. Again, could be one of those teams that is coming off a bye at the wrong time. I don't want the Panthers to win for the Bucs' sake, but I'm gonna have to go. I think I'm gonna go Panthers in this spot. These teams are actually both coming off a bye.
I'm gonna go Texans, and just the reason I'm going Texans is just because they're a better team. I mean, I
Yep.
think Panthers are obviously terrible. They're 0-6, but and I could totally see. I mean, the Panthers have to win eventually, right? I mean, you got to win eventually. You got to
Yep.
win eventually.
Gotta have
But
it.
I
Not for the
I
Bucs'
don't
sake.
know, man.
Not against the Bucs though.
Yeah, not against the Bucs, but the Texans. I mean, they're a solid squad. I think Damian Pierce hopefully just completely turned it around selfishly because I have him in a league, but
Have him.
I,
Yep. Have him in sleeper as well.
yeah. So I really think Damian Pierce against this terrible Carolina rush defense and Devin Singletary, they'll probably go crazy. Tank Dell's coming back. Nico Collins been having a great season. So Stroud obviously been playing pretty well for a rookie. I really like their offense. And I don't think the Carolina offense is going to do much against this defense. Not
Also,
this
our main
defense.
rules: we don't talk about other leagues. You'll never see us do that, even though he has
Yeah.
Damian Pierce in another league, and I have Damian Pierce in this league. But
Yeah.
we'll never do that. So
Yeah. Never.
number one rule.
But yeah, I'm going Texans. I'm going Texans.
All right, so we got Texans Panthers done. A couple more games here. We'll do a little more rapid fire. Rams Cowboys. I'm gonna go Rams. No idea why. I think the Rams are a good football team that aren't really 3-4 doesn't really show their full record. They probably could have beaten Pittsburgh last week if they stopped Kenny Pickett. Maybe go down the field for Cup, Hail Mary play, brings back PTSD to the Bucs.
Yeah.
Again, I don't. It's just one of those things. I don't think the Cowboys are really that great of a team. They have a lot of solid players, but they're not the same team that they have been years past. I'm gonna go Rams.
I'm gonna go Cowboys just because the Rams defense last week. I'm pretty sure they played the Steelers. They played Steelers last week. They did. Yeah, they lost to the Steelers last week. I was talking about the Steelers offense. They're good, but I mean, they're not elite. Cowboys are an elite team. I mean, this is a make or break game, in my opinion, for Dak Prescott. Like coming off a bye. You've had some controversy, had some good games, had some bad games. I think this is a big win for momentum for Cowboys. I think they're going to be a contender. The defense is elite. I'm going to go Cowboys.
Vikings Packers here. This is probably I think the world is expecting the Vikings to win this game. I think this is I think this is going to be an old-fashioned NFC Central North gross round and pound game. I think AJ Dillon's going to get the ball a lot. I think the Packers defense is going to show up. Um, I think everybody expects the Packers to win, the Vikings to win. I think the Packers are going to show some guts here. I think Matt LaFleur is a really good head coach. I think that Jordan Love is eventually going to be very good. I know right now he's going through some growing pains. That was a tough game last week versus Denver. I'm going to take the Pack.
Yeah, I feel like I keep fading you, but I'm gonna go
It's
Vikings, and the
good.
reason,
Embrace debate.
yeah, I mean, embrace debate. I don't believe in Jordan Love. I mean, one of his touchdown passes last week to Jalen Reed was literally like a broken play. It was like a tip that fell in Jalen Reed's hands. I mean, the guy Aaron Jones not fully healthy. Uh, I'm gonna go Vikings. I just think the
Our
Vikings are
producers
gonna win.
tell us we
Yeah,
got the 10 minute.
producers
The
tell us we gotta close down shop soon. So
producers Zoom. It's good that we disagree. If we all agree, the world would be a scary place. Saints Colts. I'm not even looking at it. Colts.
I'm gonna go Colts too.
Yep. Eagles Commanders. I think the Eagles handle this one pretty easily. The Commanders. I don't know what happened last week. There's been a lot of chat, a lot of chatter about Riverboat Ron. I think Riverboat Ron's a good coach, but I don't think this Commanders team fully has the pieces they need. They have a great defensive line. For some reason, it just doesn't translate 100% the way that they need to. I don't know why. I feel like most teams with that defensive line, it always starts in the trenches. What everybody says starts in the trenches. Maybe it's their offensive line that isn't great, but um, Eagles.
I'm going Eagles. Eagles are the real deal. Sam Howell's on pace to get sacked like 450,000 times.
Yep, really
I'm
bad.
going Eagles. I mean,
Yep.
you can't beat the Eagles right now.
Browns Seahawks. Both teams 4-2. That is wild. I can't believe I actually had no idea the Browns were 4-2. I haven't been paying attention to the Browns that much. 4-2 is the Jim Schwartz defense is going crazy. All right, Browns Seahawks Seattle, and this is in Seattle. I think this one's probably pretty easy. I think the Browns are coming off a emotional victory versus Indianapolis that they probably shouldn't have won. Seahawks.
Yeah, I'm going Seahawks. I know Myles Garrett is having a stud of a year, defensive player of the year conversation. PJ Walker starting, he's had some good games. I don't see this offense excelling in
Yep.
this game. Seahawks offense is great. Metcalf is back. There is a little question mark at running back for the Seahawks. Not sure if
I
Kenneth
have
Walker.
KW3 in multiple leagues.
Yes, other leagues don't matter, but Kenneth Walker is a question mark this week. Charbonnet is a very good backup. He's also been dealing with injuries, right?
Yep.
So it could go anyway. I'm riding Seahawks this game too.
Ravens Cardinals. I have Lamar in another league. Ravens.
Ravens, Cardinals, Ravens. Yeah, Cardinals are terrible. So that's your answer there.
Chiefs Broncos. This is in Denver. I think the stat is the that Patrick Mahomes I don't think has ever lost to the AFC West or no he's never lost
I
to
don't
the
think he's ever
Broncos.
lost to the
To the
Broncos.
Broncos. Yeah, sorry, that was a dumb moment. He's never lost to the Broncos, which is
Yeah,
ridiculous, which is
that's a
absolutely
crazy stat.
ridiculous. The Broncos are coming off their second victory of the year. Um, I really want to take the Broncos in this spot. This could also be another TikTok moment. Um, I'm just gonna do it. You know what? We're just doing this. I'm not doing this for the clicks. I'm doing this for the love of the game. I'm gonna take the Broncos here. I believe. Listen, I'm gonna say this loud. I believe in Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson is not that bad. All right. All the hate, all the flack that guy gets. Is he a little different than he used to be? Absolutely. Has he got a lot of money to do not so much? Absolutely. He's not that bad. I would take Russell Wilson right now over a lot of quarterbacks in the NFL. I'm taking the Broncos.
I respect that. I respect that a lot. I'm gonna go Chiefs. I respect your decision. I'm gonna go Chiefs.
Respect.
Simply put, I mean, Patrick Mahomes owns the Broncos. The guy's a legend. You can never bet against Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelsey, all those guys. I think they're starting to find who their receivers are as well. I think Rashee Rice kind of coming into his own. Yeah, going Chiefs. I think they win by 21.
Okay. Bengals 49ers. I feel like the Bengals do this every single year. They start slow, mid-season, they kick it right up. They just came off a bye, and this is one of the teams that 100% needed the bye. They did not need this bye. Joe Burrow needs to get healthy. T. Higgins needs to get healthy. Their defense needs to get healthy. 49ers, tough spot. I do like same argument can be made that I said for Russell Wilson about Sam Darnold. I don't think Sam Darnold is a bad quarterback. I think he's been put in some really tough situations, and he pretty much almost led the Panthers to win the NFC South last year. We were both at that Panthers game, Panthers Bucs game.
Yeah.
That was a close game. That was not. I think we won by 10. That was not a 10-point game. I think we were down 14 to start. With all that said, I am going to go Bengals here.
I'm riding with you, man. I'm riding with the Bengals. I don't think the 49ers are gonna play as well. I
I have
think they
Jamar
did that.
Chase.
I think they I think they did that early season peak.
Mm-hmm.
They've been really banged up. McCaffrey's pretty banged up, poor guy. Uh the defense of the 49ers, I mean, they look like they're trying to kill every single opponent. Excuse my probably shouldn't use that word for YouTube, but look like they're trying to destroy all their opponents. And
Please
I
don't
think
take us
in,
down,
in
YouTube.
practice they're freaking hitting their players too hard. I don't know what's going on, but the whole team's hurt.
Yep.
I agree with you. Bengals turnaround game. Jamar Chase, 3 touchdowns.
Yep. Bears Chargers. This is got get right game just smothered all over it. The Bears, great story last week with their quarterback. I'm forgetting his name right now. I really should know this if we're gonna do a podcast. He let's see. I'll probably just click on this real quick. Pageant. I didn't even look. And I saw that it was. I think it's Pageant. Pageant. Um,
Baguette?
the quarterback's name for the Bears.
The baguette.
Badgett.
I think it's like, yeah, something like that.
So all
I
right,
said baguette. I just like
Paget,
called it
Badgett, something
baguette.
like that. This is unfortunately what I watched Khalil Mack do to, I believe his name was Alex Collins or whatever his name was for the Raiders, their rookie quarterback. That was ridiculous what he did. I think he had 4 or 5 sacks in that game, like all within like 10 plays. Tyson Badgett, that's got to be his name.
Yeah, sounds
Um,
about right.
Chargers.
Yeah, I mean, Chargers, Bears, not that good of a football team.
Yeah,
Backup
this
quarterback.
listen, I'm big on like NFL like TV view. I'm always in this on the loop. This game should have been flexed 1 billion%.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Really
Yeah, I
bad,
mean,
really bad on NBC and NFL's part.
yeah, I mean, if the Chargers don't win this game, that's wave the freaking white
I
flag.
think there's got to be a conversation of firing. Uh, why am I blanking on this stuff right now? The most important moment, very bad. Um, Staley.
Yeah,
There's
Staley.
got to be a conversation of firing Staley. If they don't win this game, and I think in season firings are tough. They can definitely turn a team around, but if you go 2-5 and you lose to the Bears at home on Sunday Night Football, I don't see how you don't fire him. That's like prime.
We got breaking news. Jalen Ramsey's making his return Sunday.
Wow,
Wow.
wow, wow.
That's going to be big for the Dolphins, but I'm
That's
I'm
gonna be
right there
big.
with you. Sake of time, Chargers.
This is a massive needed game for the Chargers. That could apply pressure, but it's also a get right game at the same time because the Bears are very bad. Raiders Lions Monday Night Football returning to Detroit. I think their last Monday Night Football game was like when Calvin Johnson broke the record. I think for receiving yards. I know they had played New England on Sunday Night Football a couple of years ago, and they beat them. I'm gonna take the Lions in this spot. I think Detroit got embarrassed versus Baltimore, to put it lightly.
Yeah.
Raiders right now, I don't know what they're doing. I got Josh Jacobs in another league. Sorry. They I hope they give him the ball. And Devontae Adams, I don't know what it is. I think the Bucs should trade for Hunter Renfrow. I think he could be a really good slot receiver still. Lions.
Yeah. Lions. Raiders defense has been atrocious. Raiders off. I don't think Jimmy G is going to be in this game. I'm pretty sure
I think he
he
practiced
is.
today. Yeah.
He did. Okay. Either way, Lions.
Trending upwards. Trending upwards.
Okay. That might determine the outcome of how bad they lose, but either way, Lions are going to win this game. It's a get right game for the Lions. They've been kind of slacking the last couple of weeks, but I like them in this matchup.
All right, we are getting we're getting one of these from our producer right now. He's saying enough, enough, enough. All right, enough. Thank you all. Episode 1 of the Tuesday Night Football podcast is in the books. We will see you guys again Tuesday night. We will record. We will drop it either Tuesday night or Wednesday morning. I know the world's gonna be waiting on that one. So thank you guys for listening. We appreciate it. Like, subscribe, comment, yada yada yada, all that basic stuff.
Take care. God bless.
Yes, thank you, and most importantly, go Bucs.